A lot of white men, there's a lot of white men. Man, y'all niggas is all cooning. Coons. There's a lot of white men that do the bullshit. There's a lot.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. Please like the video and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. So Sean Diddy Combs is on suicide watch in prison as he awaits trial on sex trafficking and racketeering charges, according to reports. The rapper appeared in court on Wednesday to propose a $50 million bail package to avoid the notorious Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, but he was denied by the judge. Diddy has been placed on suicide watch as a preventative measure. On Wednesday, Diddy's lawyers argued that he was not a flight risk or dangerous, but they failed to convince the judge. The prosecution shared alleged text messages from Diddy to his ex, Casey Ventura, following the attack on her in 2016 to argue he should remain behind bars until trial.
A lot of white men, there's a lot of white men. Man, y'all niggas is all cooning. Coons. There's a lot of white men that do the bullshit. There's a lot of people that do these things and we don't look at them in any way, or if we do, it's not highlighted.
Okay, so Flip, two things.
Pardon me, I'm not done.
Okay, sorry.
People, it's easy for somebody to just wake up one day and watch something on the internet and decide to change their experience that you have with them. Even if you say, yo, come on, girl, like, nah, I don't want, no, come on, what are we doing? That's, oh, I told the nigga no, and he, like, these things are gray areas that people don't want to talk about. You just have to abide by society's new rules and just accept it because this is where it's going. It doesn't make it right, and it's fucked up too. Fuck Puff. I'm not talking about Puff. I don't give a, obviously the shit that I read, it's been a long time. It's the shit that he's been going through and he's been doing, not going through, he's been doing to people. So, nigga, if you did it, you gotta wear that. But I'm just talking about just everyday people that experiences these things that somebody could just wake up and decide to change exactly what happened, and we're gonna go with that and go with them. That's how I feel about that.
And what's fly on this part, he was done. He was definitely done. He just repeated everything again. I love when people do that on this part. I wasn't done. You dead ass was done.
Yeah, no,
he was finished.
Don't interrupt me.
You just
though.
repeating it.
Yeah,
we heard this. You right. I love this podcast.
Why are you making fun of me for?
I'm not.
You did two things right here when you were what you were talking about. There's a lot of whataboutism in what you're talking about. There's like, you know, white men can get away with certain things that niggas can't get away with and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, there may be a double standard and that's something that fucking sucks, but it is a reality. Mm-hmm. There's that. The other thing that's happened is our understanding and vocabulary has changed and expanded as time has gone on for people to understand that something that might have been a very uncomfortable and experience that they didn't necessarily have the words to describe, as time goes on and you have time to process, and then also your vocabulary and understanding expands, then you are able to actually vocalize what happened to you. So listen, I agree. It can be very uncomfortable for somebody who thinks that an experience that they had with another person was on the up and up and completely consensual and stuff like that, only to find out that they did not view it that way. Mm-hmm. But the reality of the situation is, at that point, it is up to that person to listen to what that other person's account was, because they might have had blinders on to the situation or not really understood that what they were doing was, you know, for lack of a better word, wrong. You know, like, I can't tell you how many times I ended up in that. When it came to being a woman in this industry in the late 90s, early 2000s, it wasn't just accepted that shit was going to happen to you. It was expected. And it was also expected that you keep your fucking mouth shut. It was expected that if you said anything, nobody was going to listen to you. And so you just found a way to survive. Some women served other women up on a platter like fucking tadpoles. Better you than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was survival of the fucking fittest. And that's the reality. But now things have drastically changed. Our concept as a society as to what consent means has drastically changed. And it has forced people to come to terms with the fact that their behavior may not have always been on the up and up with how they've engaged with other folks.
I agree with that.
So.
I agree with everything she said. Hey, shut them up.
Shut up. So.
I feel like that if this is your stance and you feel like this man destroyed your life, which he said 3 or 4 times, you could have said that 10 years ago when this nigga was outside running around.
But would anybody have? Everybody already thought that, and nobody was listening.
That's not true. The niggas that know.
Yeah.
And it's been out for 20 years. What the fuck really happened?
Yes.
This is not a secret.
But again, if the allegations in some of these reports are true, would you be going around saying this guy ruined my life?
As powerful as he is, what he's capable of doing?
And the steps that he takes to shut people up.
But we know niggas that when the top niggas do something, we know niggas that come and take the charge for the nigga, and then they'll be good forever.
I agree.
They'll be good forever, and then if you slip up a little bit, if you don't make the payments or keep your promises, then we will expose it.
And I don't think that's the best way to do your bidder.
What you mean?
Like, I think he went in there and said, this is what it is. They gave me my time. I'm doing my time. Not I'm going to sit here angry at him because I know what really happened and yada, yada, yada.
I'm not even
yada.
talking about that.
But I'm not going to be quiet and now let you fuck my life up twice.
Fam.
I fucked this up twice.
Yeah, what we
Because now you being called to the
Because now they
carpet.
calling
So
him
say, yo, I don't fuck with him. I did this because of this. Yo, he wanted to donate laptops. He wanted to give some money to my country. He wanted to do any of these things. That's why I was with him.
That's business.
And leave it at that. Yeah, it's business.
That's business.
And Puff could have did that because Puff could have been aware of what was going on, and he wanted to get around some people to change the narrative.
Bro, Sean's been with Puff a lot of times in the last 4 or 5 years. You're wrong.
Not a lot. No, that's not true.
I don't think it's been a lot.
You are wrong. You are wrong. He has been with Puff a bunch of times. He has been on TV with Puff. He has performed with Puff. He's been on tour with them niggas and some of that shit. Sean has been with Puff a bunch of times.
No.
Yeah, you're wrong, my nigga.
I think some of what you're saying just negates the fact that Puff was still Puff. He's still Puff, yo.
I know.
We just gave this.
So I'm not gonna win you down, go on a public thing to help. Never mind, bro. My you know what? I'm different. My morals is different. I stand in different shit.
And let me just ask you a question: if a nigga felt that way, like if Sean really felt that way about Puff, and we seen some of the shit that Puff is alleged of doing, his capabilities, how powerful he is. Maybe he been wanting to say some of this shit, but he know if he say it, it's gonna come with ramifications. Cool. So now that Jay got this nigga, let me tell y'all what I've been wanting to say for a long time. Niggas do that.
But also he's a president of a country.
I think there's a lot of people that may feel safer now that Puff is in jail.
Is he a president or he's the
Prime Minister?
Prime Minister of the country? So here's the thing. He's the prime minister of a country. There's eyes on him, and on top of that, it could mess up potential sponsorships, even being looped up into some bullshit like that. Even if he decided to take the charge and he went there and took it, and him and Puff had an understanding, and when you come out. Now he has to be, because he's representing the whole country, he has to be able to take a stance that is not condoning the shit that Puff is accused of.
And I'm not going to ask for more honorability from Sean.
Exactly.
He's the last person that got to prove even more on the moral side of things. Like he did it. He did it. And who he was then is not who he is today. So I don't have to stand on whatever I was on back then. I have a greater responsibility today. I don't